Three, two, one. Heil Smoochy. Hey everybody, we're Nefarious Reels. I'm your host, Ninjedi.
And I'm Smoochy.
Yep, Heil. See Kyle. And this episode's gonna be banned forever now, cause we made Nazi references. All right.
Yay.
But if for some reason it's not, we are a podcast. We discuss bad movies. We just watched two of them. One of them was my pick, Phobe, the Xenophobic Experiments, which is about a guy. I think is like, what was it? It was like Jade Greg or something.
God, it was Dap.
It was Dap. That's a stupid name. Yeah,
Yeah, the
Gregory
main guy.
Dap.
Yep.
But yeah, he is part of a task force to take out all the Phobe, a man-made alien species set to be like war weapons that pretty much after the war just kept hunting people, and at some point they all get captured, but then a Phobe escapes, and now Gregory Dapp is sent out to capture the Phobe alive, but there might be more to it than meets the eye, and that's it. Cole, what do you think of Phobe, the Xenophobic Experiments?
What do I say? Other than kind of boring most of the time, it was, I don't know, like the first 10-ish minutes were kind of fun when it has like the weird looking, kind of very bad CGI and all that. It looked like almost looked like a mid-90s video game, and it was looking kind of fun and was kind of goofy. And then as like everything kind of kicks in for me, it just kind of got a little blah. It was very
Basically, when he
blah.
comes to Earth.
Yes, like when he gets to Earth, and that's when it just kind of was like, okay, it's not that interesting anymore.
Well, the history of this movie is pretty much the director Erica Benedicti and then her
Yep.
friends got together to she worked at a local like TV station. She managed to get this like film made and then convinced her bosses at the station to show the movie, and it's become like a cult, one of those cult classic films in Canada. So it's the Canadians' fault that this exists.
Damn
The
you, Canadians.
Canadians. But yeah, this is one
Yeah.
of those just bunch of people had a bunch of stuff and they worked on a movie. I don't know. I find it kind of charming. Like out of all our no budget made at home films, I think it's better than stuff like Roller Gator, but like not as good as like Llamageddon, which had a little more. But yeah, I get it. It's kind of like a Predator cross Terminator type movie.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, the plot moves by kind of quick. It's only like an hour and a half. Because you start with our cool lead, Sergeant Dap,
Giga Chad Dap.
who, after, I assume, blowing up a phobe with a rocket launcher, ends up quitting the force because his entire team's dead now, because he's part of a task force to kill all the phobe. But they all get killed off, and he retires, but he's brought back in the line of duty for one last job. He's got to capture the last phobe alive, but we get an implication that there's a little more going on than just simply capturing a phobe. You know, the standard kind of plot stuff you'd expect from these kind of things.
Yeah, the stuff about that they need to do more research on it, and
We have this, but there's more to it. And it's every like 80s evil alien thing. Oh, we need this for this reason, but we actually have a nefarious, I guess you say a nefarious reason. Hey,
a
yeah, we're so funny. Yeah,
funny.
funny. And when we say other planet, we mean just, Canada into the forest.
Yeah, like shot in somebody's backyard.
Yeah. You do have those the CGI effects, and the first time they have like a big wide shot, it's like that like space station, and it kind of works.
Yep.
'Cause they have like that haze, so it looks crappy, and that's like kind of the point. But then you get
Yep.
like the fucking space station scene,
Space.
and I was waiting for like a tutorial to pop up telling me how to fly the spaceship.
It's exactly what I was thinking too. Or just like, it's just that cutscene and it's just the liftoff, or like press A to blast off,
Yep.
or something like that.
Or hold or your right trigger for like the boost to launch you off.
Yeah, that was my favorite part, probably just because of how goofy it looked and kind of showed me the little charm because I was reading when I was like watching the movie, I was just looking up some articles about it, and there's one I just found where it's talking about how it was made for like 250 basically Canadian dollars, and
Yeah.
just it was kind of fun to read about, and how she was basically trying to make her kind of own Star Wars-ish type movie,
I
and
mean, yeah, there's
basically she was, oh yeah,
no, you finish. You finish saying your
okay.
thing.
Yeah, and she's even like talked about at times where it's like, I would basically wrote this to be like a $500,000 movie, but instead I had to cut corners obviously for 250, but it was probably more like 5 to 10,000 because I went to different businesses to get the stuff for the movie and be like, hey, can I borrow some stuff to film a movie with? And I'm like, sure. And that's how this movie was born.
Yeah, well, clearly this is shows like a lot of heart compared to some other films we've kind of discussed, which are you know not that, I guess, to put it simply.
Richard.
Richard, Charles Band for the fucking 420 movie.
Yep,
Yep,
Charles Band.
yep. Your moral enemy now.
My new moral enemy, yes.
Until you see a good Charles Band movie, he's your mortal enemy.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what's a good Charles Band movie? Is that like above a 2 out of 10 for me?
I think Trancers is apparently really good. He did the first Trancers movie.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think I looked it up, and that's like considered his like most popular movie. So could be good. But I think another thing that does add to the charm of this movie is kind of the pyrotechnics. Like they have the goofy little laser blast, but they'll have like a little pyrotechnic like go off where the laser hits. And I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of a neat little like extra detail. Cause like I feel like in other movies kind of like this, they just show the laser hit a thing and then that'll be it. It's like, oh, he missed. But then they have that little thing shoot off and go, oh, he missed, and there's an impact, and that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like the lasers too, when you see them, they're kind of that like Microsoft Paint look where they kind of added on obviously in post production. It looks fine, kind of. Again, given like the budget, it's like okay, I liked it. It was funny.
Yeah, but eventually Drav flies down to the planet where the Phobe escaped, which turns out to be planet Earth. Because where else are they
What a
going to go?
surprise.
And Phobe basically crash lands into our house, and we have our setup scene to show how much of a threat Phobe is when fucking not Barry Gillis pops out to investigate. I mean, he did. He kind of looked like Barry Gillis from Things. Let's be real here.
Oh, that like yeah,
He had that
southern looking
mullet and everything.
Yeah,
A lot
he
of people
did. He
had
had the
mullets in
mullet,
this
the
fucking
stash.
movie. There were a lot of mullets in this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
No, there were a good amount of mullets. It was that kind of
That
trucker boy '90s look.
that was just the Canadian vibe back then, I guess.
I guess so. Looking like American truckers,
Well, they're Canadian. It's Canadian truckers.
Canadian American truckers.
Canadian American truckers. But when they go out searching, they find a egg thing and gets blown up, and his friend he's with gets hunted down by the Phobe, and that's how we know the Phobe is dangerous. Also, I just want to say, Phobe is such a stupid name.
It's
I
very
can't
dumb.
take it seriously when I say it. It's Phobe.
Phobe. Like he couldn't have done something better. I mean, I can't think of one on the spot right now, but I could have thought of something at least better than phobe.
How about the Furians? But
The
you spell it with a
Furians.
PH, so it's you got Fury, and then you get Ians at the end. The Furian is a scientifically created race of endless fury for any time, an unstoppable soldier. There we
Mhm.
go. I did it. I fixed it.
Good for you.
Yep.
You did it.
I don't know. It's probably called Phobe because it works for Xenophobic, which in the film, Xenophobic means fear of aliens. So there we go. We have one other main titular character. You have Girl, also known as I
Girl.
think Jennifer. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer. She's just there so they can fill in the Terminator trope where she finds an egg and the phobe wants to get the egg from her, so the phobe's hunting her down. But then what is it? I forgot it already. Gregory Dapp.
Yeah.
Dapp shows up and
Just think of Dab, but P.
Pab. I'm just gonna let that joke like sink in for like a minute before so you can get it.
Wait, sorry, what was it?
I said pab. I was really proud of it. You said think dab with
Oh,
a P, and I said
ah,
pab. It was the funniest
tab.
joke I've ever made, and you didn't even pay attention to it. It's not even funny
No.
anymore because I had to explain it. Oh well. I guess even the greatest things have to die. But Dab comes and saves the day and saves Jennifer, claiming that he's like the police. But of course, they eventually learn that he's really an alien because he bleeds yellow.
He bleeds yellow and his eyes are yellow.
I love how nonchalant he's like, "Oh, are you okay? You got stuff on you." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm bleeding." Wait a minute, you people don't bleed yellow. What are you? Who are you?
What am
Who?
I?
Who
Who
are
am I?
you? What are you? Yeah, they go to her friend who have a radio where he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually like some like space cop. I'm some kind of space cop, and I'm gonna use my gun to superpower the radio to contact my for reinforcements." Then they run off to a factory, a, a metal factory or something, a
Yeah, it's
warehouse.
something like that. Like, yeah, some kind of warehouse or something.
They go to the tractor depot where they shot that scene from Death to Smoochy to
We'll talk
to
about that later.
to avoid the Phobe, and they run around. We get a cool fight scene, and Phobe gets defeated by a slow moving crane that like grabs onto it and drags it like 50 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just a random thing, but I always thought it was funny when Drab jumps onto it and then it just slowly like goes down and Drab just keeps looking over, waiting for his like point to jump. It's like, oh, is it now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait for it. Ah, there he
Oh yeah,
goes.
that's kind of like a video game again. And there's a lot of moments that made it feel like, yeah, were you just watching a video game or is this just, part of the movie? And I thought that was kind of goofy about it.
Yeah, like I said, it's got a bit of charm. I do find it. I don't know why this was so hilarious to me, but with the when they switch to the faux perspective and you have all its little like doodad things that show everything, there's that like bottom thing that has like that little dot going back and forth that seemed to serve like no purpose like at all, and for some reason that cracked me up every time it showed up on screen. It was like, what is it for? I don't
Yeah.
know, but it's there and it's doing a thing. It's just going back and forth. Anyway,
Stuff happens.
yeah, stuff happens. This is a things happens movie. Oh, I thought of actually a better term than a things happen movie. If you want to
Oh
hear me
no.
pitch it to you, I want to
Go
I'll
ahead.
call it a pinball movie. Think about
Oh,
it. You get your hook, like when you pull the plunger back to let go to launch
yep.
the ball up. That's like your hook. That's like the initial setup. But then once it's like through and up into the course, it's like, oh, it hits the bumper, and now it's like it's getting launched over here into like this random plot where things happening, and it's bouncing around over there. Then it hits a flipper, then it's bouncing around there, and it bounces around a lot until it just goes straight down into the bottom, and then your game ends at the end where you get to your ending.
Hmm.
Yes, it's pretty
I can
good.
see that.
I was very proud of it when I thought of that term. I'll make it a thing. I just have to say it enough times. I mean, granted, this isn't that much of a pinball movie because it is pretty straightforward with what happens and everything does go like
Yeah.
forward in a. It's not like Roller Gator when they're just like, oh, we're gonna go. Let's go to my house now. Let's go to the amusement park now. Let's go to those washout. Now let's go over here. Let's go over there. Let's go to there. Oh, and the movie's over. This one's pretty much a. He's gonna go hunt down the alien. The alien is hunting down them. Therefore, they are moving around to avoid the phobe until they get
Yeah.
into a funny fight.
Yeah, until they're able to find a way to also catch the phobe.
Yeah, well, they do. We get a mask reveal that the phobe is not actually some masked killing machine. It's a dude wearing an alien mask.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
What a
you
twist.
can see his eyes moving in the mask and everything. It's kind of goofy. Like the cover on Letterboxd, like the alien mask doesn't look that good, but then you actually like see it, and you're just like, oh, that's clearly just a dude in a mask.
Oh boy. Yeah, you're just like, oh
You
wait.
can see the whites of his eyes as he looks around, as he looks to see if it's his cue to do the thing.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but the phobe gets captured in like a fucking ghost thing from Ghostbusters. And then the bad guy shows up and basically has the whole, I am evil corporate businessman and I want the phobe to make money or something. And ultimately, the final battle against the true enemy, capitalism, commences. That's right.
The
This film is
worst.
a film about capitalism and the evils of capitalism. This film is deep, Cole. People just don't get it.
They didn't look into the subtext of it.
They didn't really get the deeper meaning. Only we understand it, Cole.
We are the true experts on this.
Who's the real phobe, Cole? Society.
The Joker?
Yep. The Joker baby. But ultimately, the capitalism ends up losing because they release Phobe again after capturing him like 30 seconds ago, and then Phobe just basically just kills everyone, and then everyone walks away and leaves a better person, having learned a lesson today. And yeah, that's really the movie.
That's basically the movie. There's
Really it. It's very sweet and to the point.
very just like it doesn't kind of cut. I don't want to say exactly cut around corners, but it doesn't like
Waste your
play
time.
around too much. Yeah, it's like you kind of know where it's going from point A to point B to point C and how they structured everything. So, like, I'll give it that. It's not like too confusing on what's going on.
I will say this, the only characters that are interesting are Phobe and Dap. All the human characters are really just pointless. They're just there to
They're just
fulfill
there
their
to be
role
in
in
the
the
movie.
plot. I could have done with a little more action.
Yeah, I would have too.
Like, even though they're just shooting lasers. I guess something that was also another funny effect was when there was like when half the screen's just a shot, is just like a shot of like a building or something, but the top half is like a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like really awkwardly cut, so it's just like this weird like explosion thing that doesn't really match with like the bottom pick at
Yep.
all. That's a goofy little thing. I also thought it was funny when they're at like a very top of a parking garage and they just jump down to a truck and like nothing happens. Like it's pretty much nothing.
No, like they don't get like hurt or anything. They just kind of like, oh,
Drap's just like, all right, let's jump.
yep, we're
Wow!
good.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Yippee! He says all those in the
Mushroom
movie.
Kingdom, here we come.
That's what he says. That's the iconic Drap catchphrase. He says it like 20 times in the movie.
Yeah, it was so awesome.
When he gets in his spaceship, he goes, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. And then the spaceship shoots off. I don't know, what else can we really say about Phobe? Other than it's a cute, charming little thing. I mean, like I said before, I do think it's better than something like Roller Gator, which really just feels like I have a alligator puppet and I have a carnival nearby. And Joe Estevez owes me a favor. Let me just throw together something to make some money. Like Phobe clearly feels like a passion project from the heart, and for that, I kind of have like a level of respect for it.
Okay.
How about you, Cole?
Uh, I mean, yeah, I can definitely agree. Like, it's got some charm to it with how they basically made this on pennies, and you can definitely see there is some effort and oh god, yeah, I guess you could say there's like some heart that was put into it, and just they kind of knew what they were doing, and they kind of knew what the movie was, and
But they
that's
did
kind
their
of.
best.
But yeah, they did well what they had.
I don't know. I think there's also a big plus that this was made like 1995, because if someone tried to make this in like 2015, they'd just make it try to be like, oh, we're bad. We're like a funny movie. Haha, funny, bad space movie, guys. Haha.
Ha ha
And
ha.
that would be like their crush is like, well, if it's bad, it's we meant for it to be bad. It's a funny, bad movie.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be bad because it's a commentary on how bad it is and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and it's like, look, you're not Thanksgiving. Shut up. You just made a shitty movie. Just own up to it already. I don't know, but that's really all I have to say about Phobe. I like it. Maybe not as much as other people do, but it's got its charm. I enjoyed it for what it was. Anyway, I guess with that, we get to move on to the next film, which was recommended by Cole.
Yay!
Take it away, Cole. This was your pick. You wanted to do this all this time for so long.
Here we go. Let me get it pulled up so I can read the synopsis. Yes, so now we are on the modern pick, which was mine. Death to Smoochy from 2002, directed by Danny DeVito. And basically, the whole premise is there are, I guess you could say, two colliding children's show icons at some points where Rainbow Randolph, played by Robin Williams, he basically has his whole image ruined because he took a bribe so that someone's kid could be closer to the stage to him or something.
I think it was
And
basically to like be in the show, I think.
yeah, it was like to be like, yeah, in the show somehow. And then the executive board is like, we need to find the next person that is squeaky clean. No criminal record, no nothing. They can't even touch a sip of alcohol. And that's when we get Smoochy, played by Edward Norton, who is a purple rhinoceros Barney ripoff, kind of. And he gains a lot of fame and attention. And then Rainbow Randolph's doing all these little goofy attempts to try and ruin his image and get his show back, I'm guessing, as he wants to be that lovable guy again. And yeah, that is Death to Smoochy. So, Ninjedi, what did you think about this before we talk about it?
Well, I mean, I liked it actually. I had a Danny DeVito reaction. I was like, "Oh my god, I get it now." That was me. I was on the side of the people who like this movie, although I don't like it as much as a lot of other people do. You hated it. You made it
Yeah, I hated
abundantly
it.
clear that you hated it in your review of this movie.
Yeah.
I know. I will admit, I was a little worried when I actually took a look at the runtime of this movie and realized it was almost 2 hours long. But no, I had a relatively good time watching this movie to a point. There is a point where I feel like, okay, this movie's starting to go on for too long, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to delve into that just yet. I'm ready to hear you complain about this for the next hour. I don't have to say anything. You're just gonna be the content machine. You're gonna have this is gonna be your Timmy
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 episodes in a row. I get this moment.
Yeah, just don't yell too much, okay?
Yeah, I don't really even feel like yelling. I'm just gonna be verbally upset with more of this stuff.
I'll
So
just butt in occasionally say, actually that scene was funny, and you're just nitpicky and biased.
yeah, so what would you say? Go point by point, probably?
Yeah, if you want. I mean, I do have
Yeah.
my own critiques with this as well, clearly.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like this is your movie, and I don't want to like interrupt all the time. I'm just gonna let you rant, and I'll come in. You can choose when to stop talking and give me
Yeah.
my moment to speak. But go for it. Take the reins, Cole. This is all you, baby.
Yep, and this is going to be all improv. I did not write anything for this. I mean, I wrote notes down, but I didn't. But I'm saying, like, in terms of the upsetness ranting, like this movie, I cannot believe how fucking boring and uninteresting it was to me. Obviously, it was like just the most unfunny thing that I've witnessed here for a while when watching some of these movies. I mean, I even got laughs. I mean, That's My Boy was even a movie that I was really mad with that made me laugh at points, but that was more laughing through the pain. This one, I just felt so bored, and even when there's supposed to be quote unquote comedic line deliveries, it just doesn't work. There was nothing that really happened that I thought was just any funny. I just do not see what people see in this as like a cult classic or something. Like the whole story is just kind of stupid because it's like I can see what Rainbow Randolph's doing. He's trying to ruin Smoochy, but are you trying to get your show back? Like, why are you just like walking onto the set when security guards were probably right there and they missed him there? And man, this is gonna be oh
Well,
boy.
the film isn't really about Rainbow Randolph trying to take the
Oh
show
yeah,
back, because that's more of like a
it's like
side plot thing,
It's a subplot. I know.
which
Yeah,
is a
but
shame because I think actually Robin Reynolds is pretty fun as just this completely unhinged guy with like the ego the size of a fucking planet.
Yeah, I don't see that. I just don't. I kind of find him just very unlikable in this,
Well,
and I
he's supposed
think
to
that
be
was supposed to be the
unlikable.
point, but it's Robin Williams. It kind of ruins it. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I just didn't like how he was just like this unhinged weirdo, and then later that like weird heroin junkie was trying to kill Smoochy, and then he apparently has like a change of heart and decides to save Smoochy, and it's like you've been wanting to stop stop and cancel his show the whole time, and now you want to save him because he's skating on ice. Like, what's your motivation here? Are you
Well,
just trying to be the good Samaritan now?
well, eventually, in the earlier scene, there's here I am. Actually, if you remember in earlier scene of the movie, but there is that earlier scene where he does like move on from it until he sees that Smoochie hooks up with like the girl he used to have the hots for,
Yeah,
and he
Captain
gets
Keener.
pissed off, and then you have the big confrontation where they finally kind of lay it all out, and then he just moved past it. And so yeah, but it is a little something. It is a little kind of like, oh, you just instantly decide, you know what, I'm gonna be good now.
Yeah,
Though
I'm
it is
gonna
funny
have.
when he is rushing and he gets stopped by like a group of people for a picture. He's like, actually, I'm in a rush. Oh, okay, let's one picture. We'll take a picture. And he just gets like distracted just because, like I said, he's got an ego. And even in a situation where he's trying to save someone from being fucking murdered, he has to stop to take the picture.
Yeah.
But keep going, keep going. This is you.
Okay.
You. This is your therapy here.
This is my therapy. This is like cathartic right now.
Right.
I mean, I will be also completely honest. I watched this with the YMS. YMS did a watch along on it on his stream, and he had it uploaded to his channel. So I watched kind of, I guess you could say, along with him while
Well, he
seeing this,
complained.
which kind of did help. I mean, I I mean, this is like one of the few movies I kind of agreed with him on like everything really. Because there was also just that one weird scene where Robin Williams is like gonna gaslight himself on fire, and then that little kid's like, "No, don't do it."
Yeah, that was really stupid, but that was like a
It was
funny bad for me.
really stupid, but it was like super cringe at the same time. Apparently, he only kept one match because then he was just like, "Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna kill myself now.
I don't know. I
I'm
think
okay."
I think that fit into like the ego. I think I wouldn't be. A part of me thinks that might have been just performative. Like he wasn't actually gonna do it. It wasn't until when he was hoping someone would like everyone would jump to stop him, and when he does, he's like, okay, I
Oh,
guess I'm gonna do it. That's how I interpret it. And so when
eh,
the kid does come, he's like happy because like, oh, he's someone. I got the
someone does
intention
care for him.
until
Just
Smoochie shows up and they're like, yeah, fuck this guy,
yeah, and then Smoochy went, "It's smooching time."
and then he smooched all over the place.
He smooched on Rainbow Randolph, and he smooched everyone in Times Square. Yeah. Oh yeah, and this is another thing too, and like YMS also mentioned this, but when during the watch along, but there was these weird little subtle jokes about Edward Norton coming like a health freak. Like I don't know if
Subtle
that was like
jokes.
I don't know if that was like pointing. I don't know if that was like to point and laugh at people who want to live a healthier lifestyle or something in 2002. But it was like, yeah, I'm gonna put these vitamins in orange juice, extra vitamins, and then I'm gonna eat soy hot dogs. And it's like I just want to be a be good with my body and
Okay, but let me be
actually
clear.
do
You
stuff for
said
good. It's
it
like
was subtle.
I okay, maybe not subtle. It was like
It was
very
pretty open. Yeah, the
obvious.
Titanic sunk when it hit a subtle bit of ice.
No, yeah, I meant obvious. I don't know why I said subtle. It just didn't seem to. It what okay, like I mean subtle as in like you can see the joke, but they weren't like too
In your face.
yeah, like in your face with it is kind of what I was saying.
I don't know. I disagree if it as an insult because clearly he's the good guy. He like means well. You can argue that he's being a little much with it, but I don't think it's like treated as like a negative ever. If anything, everyone who like is angry at it is usually the bad guy or like the corporate person. Like when someone has like a strong like negative reaction to like, oh, he's like a weird health nut guy, like it's usually the corporate asshole guy who just wants money and doesn't care and just here for the exploitation of it all. Like Smoochie's like the good guy in the movie, Though I do think it's a funny visual gag where he's like, you don't know how hard it was to try to get these soy dogs to be in. And it's just a scene of like 2 soy dogs surrounded by a bunch of hot dogs. I think that's a fun little visual gag. Though I do have to admit, it was pretty unsanitary when he fucking popped the cap off the black mystery sauce thing and just dumped it on his hot dog.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck are you
that?
doing? The cap's there for a reason. That's like a sanitary problem right there.
Yeah.
That's like a dick move. That's the moment when Smoochy became the villain of the story for me.
Ordinary sausage would have had a stroke seeing that.
Yep.
Oh, God. All right, let's see. What else? I literally wrote like a full page of notes on this.
Yeah, we can just take them out one at a time, and then I'll refute it. Except for, because I have a feeling there will be a couple we'll agree on.
Oh, also, like, the whole Jon Stewart thing, too. There was, like, he was there, obviously, in the beginning, but then I just kind of forgot he was just kind of out of the picture for, like, 40 minutes, and then you're like, oh, yeah, he's in here.
Yeah, Jon Stewart has, like, no real, like, weight at all. Like, he shows up, he's important at the beginning when he's, like, trying to find the replacement, and then all of a sudden, he's, like, a bad guy, I guess.
Yeah, and then he finds Smoochy, and then, oh, wait, he's actually a bad kids show executive, along with Danny DeVito and Harvey Fierstein, who are, like, literally trying to kill Smoochy now, because they're like, hey, he doesn't want to be bringing in all the money. He wants to be good. Fuck that. It was so cartoonish when they did that stuff. And then it's just like, okay, what is your tone supposed to be? Is this supposed to just be like goofy? Like, what is it supposed to be? Is this like a serious drama? Is this like a exploration about the dangers of kids show works and executives and all that? Like, what are you doing?
Okay, well, Letterboxd labels the genres of this movie as a comedy, thriller, crime drama. Well, I wouldn't say this film is necessarily serious. Like, I think it's supposed. I think
there's no thriller in it.
What, you weren't thrilled when all the Nazis showed up?
Okay, let's talk about that too.
That's like my favorite joke of the whole movie. I thought that was going to be the death to Smoochy scene where they try to kill him.
Like, this is what my issue with it was. Well, there's a couple things. Like, first, why are you this fucking stupid, Smoochy, to not be like, hey, I'm in like an abandoned plane yard or whatever it was, like some abandoned factory or something.
He's at a tractor depot. That's the line. He's like, wow, I've never performed at a tractor depot before. It's like, well, we don't care about the frills. We just care about the kids.
Like, why would you... Like, you should have kind of second-guessed before you were going to go out there and be singing whatever and just thinking, okay, why would kids be here?
Okay, but this
like,
is
it
like...
It just seems weird. But he seems too gullible.
No, I wouldn't say gullible. He's too trusting. He's the I want to see the best. This is kind of before he kind of his eyes open up, because at first the most he has is the we want to push branding. He's like, well, I don't want to push branding, and then he gets the executive producer role after that when he talks to Danny DeVito because he doesn't know he's going to be manipulated by him yet. And then kind of this is like before he has that big eye-opening thing of how like ruthless the world really is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's after that scene where he like pretty much gets blacklisted as a Nazi, and then the clinic
and then
he's at gets shut
he's
down.
Forgiven after Rainbow Randolph was found out to be behind it, and then everyone's just like, "Okay, you're good now, you're fine."
Well, you have to understand this is like before like the 2000 like Twitter.
Yeah, this
before
was
literally you were
so.
guilty forever of everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think that was such a funny, because I thought it was like the kill Smoochy, or I thought it'd be revealed like, oh, it's gonna be like a biker gang and they're gonna beat him up or something, and then it's just fucking, it's just you got all like the Nazi stuff and the fucking flag just drops down from behind him and the guy stands and goes Heil Smoochy. I was laughing. That was the best joke of the movie for me. And then the fucking like SWAT team just fucking busts out of nowhere, and everyone's like, oh no. Oh, no.
Well, and even looking at that again, it was so weird to be like, okay, how did he coordinate all of this? Like, how did he find all of these neo-Nazis and go, hey, I'm going to bring a kids show entertainer to this tractor yard, and I'm going to have the bright so bright that he can't see stuff. And when he says to lower it down, I will then show all of you, pull down all these flags. It was just so elaborate. I don't like
This
how do you coordinate that?
my
And how do
theory.
you communicate with all these neo-Nazis? Like that's just a little weird.
Look, my prevailing theory is that this Nazi rally was already happening at the time, and Rudy Randolph just like got in contact with them and got this set up. That's my prevailing. I love the fucking joke of where he's just like during the interview when Aaron was like, "I don't hate anyone," and then he goes, "Does that mean you don't hate Nazis?" I don't know. I thought that was a goofy line. But I argue that it was probably that like that event was already happening no matter what, and Rudy Randolph just happened to go like, "Hey, I can get Smoochy because Smoochie's like such a popular figure that just like having them with them seems like a support of the cause and kind of that kind of thing." And kind of that's my prevailing theory anyway. Maybe that's just me because I'm just like trying to be like, actually this one was good and you're just wrong. You just don't get it. You don't understand the genius comedy of Death to Smoochy, Cole. You were wrong and
Mm-hmm.
dumb.
Yeah, I guess I don't like movies anymore because I don't get this one, I guess.
You just hate good movies. How dare you bring your negativity on my bad movie podcast?
I know. I'm the worst person in the world.
How dare you say this movie is bad on a bad movie podcast? But yeah, where were you on this very good discussion?
Ranting about how stupid and terrible Nazis are.
Right.
Yeah, we hate Nazis here, unlike Kanye.
We do not condone Nazi stuff. Even if I did say Hal Smoochy at the start of this episode, that was a joke. Please don't ban us.
Yeah, just write satire in the front of it then,
Yep.
and then they'll know that it's, oh yeah, that's okay.
I'll just have like a censor every single time any Nazi related word just appears in this discussion. I guess while you're figuring out your next point, I think I enjoy all the little banter stuff because it's really fast and just really this back and forth, bunch of little jokes. When it goes like, you know what? I'm gonna go to my office. It has a great view. Oh, all the offices have a view. Yeah, but not a view facing that way. With their little petty arguments and all that, I thought that was fun, little enjoyable stuff. Or when he almost calls her a bitch, he's like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna do something else. I'm just gonna go. Or his really weird stepfather song.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that weird one. Like, he was saying shit like, yeah, remember kids, a stepfather's like a new puppy.
You gotta give him time to adjust.
And I'm like, how is that even similar? Like, I could get adjustment periods, but taking care of a dog is much more different from having a new step parent.
But if he touches you or your mommy, what's the magic number? 911. I don't know. That gave me like a Freddy.
That like just confused me and just made me feel super uncomfortable. I was like, that's what those stranger danger videos are for, not for Smoochy to tell you. I mean, I guess he could tell you, but maybe in a stranger danger ad instead of on his show.
I don't know. That whole bit gave me one of those Freddy got fingered laughs where it's just like I have no idea how I'm supposed to react, so I'm just like laughing because I don't know how I'm supposed to like react to it.
Yeah, that was a lot of the quote unquote comedy for me. Like I said before, it was just more of, do I laugh or not? In my head, I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna laugh because it wasn't funny to me. It just was stupid. Nothing gave me a laugh in a comedy, which both that and just being super boring was like the ultimate cardinal sins for me for movies like that. Like, if you're just gonna be super boring and uninteresting and I check out about half an hour in and I'm just, here just to finish it, it's not a good time for me, is what I'll say. It's not fun to be watching a movie that I'm like, that I checked out where I have about an hour 20 left and I'm just going, just end already, just end. And then it doesn't end. And then when it finally ends, I'm like, hallelujah.
Yeah, I will admit this. The introducing of Rainbow Randolph, his fall, the search for the replacement, the finding it, and then the complete popularity he has all happens like the first 15 minutes of the
Yeah,
movie.
it's like
I'll give you
super
that.
quick. It's not like that really kind of destroys it because usually if you're making a movie kind of like that, well, first off, a movie like this should be like an hour 30, hour 35
Yeah,
maybe.
by how fast you're going, you think it would be like an 88-minute movie and not an
Yeah,
almost 2 hour one.
yeah, and yeah, with how like that goes, it's just like those 15 minutes usually should be about I don't know. That should be
30?
like 50 minute, like 30 to 40 minutes into the movie, not 15. And then it just seemed like, oh crap, we did all this. We basically speed ran the fall of Rainbow Randolph and the rise in popularity of Smoochy, and then we just forgot what to do. So let's get this like crime boss storyline in here with the Irish Bar family and Danny DeVito and Harvey Firestein, where Smoochie's not trying to get killed by the executives, and then he's getting backup from the Boxer's family.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of repeats itself over and over again. And
For me, the film got past that point where it's just basically after Merv Green gets beheaded.
yeah,
Because at that point, that's the defeat of what he seems to be the main antagonist of the film, which is this guy who is clearly just in it of money. Which, I don't know, funny bit for me is just he's a charity, but he has only interest in money. He's just basically like a mob boss who only demands
mm-hmm.
like profits, and that's a little funny. I guess while we're on the top of the family, at the beginning of the movie, we get a shot of who we assume is Smoochy, and then he gets his ass kicked and gets killed. At the time when I was thinking that, I was thinking that's gonna be
It's
Rainbow
Moochie.
Randolph. Like at the start, I thought Rainbow Randolph's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do the hit on Smoochy, is gonna put on the
yep.
costume like near the end of the film, and then he gets killed. That's what I was thinking was gonna happen. But
Maybe
no,
that would have been more interesting, but no, we have to make this boring as shit.
yeah, but instead we get introduced to what was the guy's name? It's like Spinner. The guy's name, Spinner. Spinner's a boxer who pretty much has one too many
Yes.
fights and basically runs a restaurant with his Irish mob family. And he's a huge fan of Smoochy, and he gets to be on the show slightly partially because of threats. But then later he gets a different role. First he's just banging that cowbell. He's like, I got a fever, and the only
No,
prescription
prescription is
is
more
more
cowbell.
cowbell.
Yeah, and then he becomes Moochie after.
Because Moochie, for one episode, but because he's in the Moochie costume, the people who get the sent the hit on who are told to kill the rhino end up killing that guy instead, which gets a funny line where the Merv Green basically goes, Smoochy is
Mm-hmm.
fuchsia and Moochie is magenta. Get it right. Get your Smoochy lore right.
Yeah, you stupid idiots. Get
But
your lore right, bitches.
yeah, at first they just assume it's Rainbow Randolph because he did the Nazi thing earlier. But then the
Yeah.
mob did their own investigation, figure out that it was Merv Green, and then they fucking behead him.
Yeah.
And then the film gets really boring because then they give Dane DeVito and Jon Stewart the antagonistic role, where no, they're trying to cause the death to Smoochy, and then it's just
And
like,
then they get that weird druggy dude who's trying to assassinate him. Basically, as their hitman.
Buggy Ding Dong.
Yeah. That honestly, out of all the people who try to kill Smoochie, he was the worst. He was the one that I was just like, out of all of these people, why are you just like the most boring and you always look like you are checked out on like me watching that movie and you are just kind of looking like someone who took one too many sleeping pills or something.
Well, he is a druggie. That was
Yeah.
like the big thing. Jon Stewart was very against
Yeah,
hiring this guy for their job.
that was like the whole joke that he's just a druggie. That's it. And it's stupid.
I just want another kind of funny joke kind of around that time when Rainbow Randolph comes to confront uh Smoochy and girl. What's her name? Nora Wells.
Oh yeah.
I love that confrontation where he's just like she slept with every single fucking children's host mascot under the fucking sea.
And no one brings that up ever.
And Smoochie's like, what? I mean, we learned that she's. I think it's a funny joke because first you think, oh, she just had a thing for Rainbow Randolph, and then later
Nope.
it's just like, oh, it wasn't just me. It was fucking everyone. Yours she blows.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that line. It's just like, it might be small, but it's fierce.
Oh my God.
You just don't get it, Cole. You just don't. You don't get the
Yeah,
grand
I guess
genius
I
of
don't
Death to
get it.
Smoochy.
I don't get it, I guess. I guess I'm wrong.
You are wrong, and you're gonna give this a 10 out of 10, even though I only gave this a 4 out of 10. You're gonna give it a perfect score.
Yeah, a what? A 4 out of 10 and just shit. I mean, a 10 out of 10 and how bad it is.
10 out
Then
of 10
yeah,
of how great of a movie it is. You just don't
it's
get it. It's so deep.
yeah. I don't think I get it, obviously, and now I'm just so befuddled as to how this was just all done and just how anyone can find this to be like an actual 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It actually shocks me, kind of like Southland Tales.
To
It's
be
just one of
fair,
those movies I guess I don't get, and then I'm the nitpicky biased one or something. Ugh.
most people give it like a between a 6 and an 8 out of 10. Like less than 1,000 people have given this a perfect score.
Yeah, but still, even to those people, I want someone to explain this to me, why they think this is like one of the most underrated comedies ever made or something, because I would really love to hear that.
Well, I mean, I don't know any. I out of our entire group, I have like the highest rating for this fucking movie.
Yeah, I
So,
think you do.
so I guess it's up to me. I thought it was funny when they said the line, and then I
When
laughed.
they said the line.
They said the coveted Smoochy line, Smoochy's signature catchphrase.
It's smooching
It's
time.
smoochin' time, and he smooched all over the place. It was very funny. I went, oh my god, that's literally me.
That's why you loved it. It's your literally me
This is
character.
my Smoochy is my literally me character.
Mhm.
I
But it's not played
too
by Ryan
have people try
Gosling,
to murder
so
me. That's why he's literally me. I
you ran a
too
kid show and then people tried to murder you for it.
I too had someone almost a druggie almost assassinate me during my ice show where I had a bunch of little kids chase me around in pitchforks in devil costumes.
Yeah, to represent the evil, greedy people.
This film is also against capitalism, just like Phobe. It's about capitalism. Anyway, got any more points about Death to Smoochy?
Oh God, let's see. Mm, hmm. No, not really. I honestly think we kind of went through it. Other than yeah, that this is just kind of a piece of shit for me, and just such a kind of travesty to something that seemed interesting when reading the plot synopsis, but everything in just the filmmaking techniques to the acting to the story performances, I just thought did not work at all whatsoever, and it was just kind of a travesty to see all of these talented people be on a movie like this. And this has been my Timmy Lee TED Talk moment.
All right, nice. You doxed him completely.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll show him.
Yeah. That'll show him.
Yeah. Anyway, I did enjoy this movie more than you, and my
Yeah.
only real complaints is I wish there was more. There's more Robin Williams because he wasn't in it too much. Because I kind of enjoyed his character a lot, and I think this film kind of gets less interesting once Merv Green gets fucking murdered and they have to replace him with a different antagonist. Other than that, I enjoyed it. I kind of get it. How'd you like when Comic Sans appeared when the credits started to roll?
Kind of forgot about the Comic Sans part, but if my brother was in the room, he probably would have been screaming. I don't know why he hates Comic Sans with like a livid passion.
I don't know. Die mad, I guess. Lol.
Yeah. I This movie I think this is like one of the few that I think we were both a little divisive on. It's this one like the Mario Brothers movie, and that's like about it.
Yeah, we still have the Mario Brothers movie pretty high up. Like you have it higher than me, but I don't
Yeah,
know. This is
I have it higher than you, but you rated it 2 points higher than me.
yeah. But I guess with that out of the way, it is time to pick which of these two is better. Though I have a feeling I know how this is going to go. Cole, which of these two films do you think is the better of the two?
Boy. I mean, it's a little tough for me because I did rate both of these a 1. So I'm a little God.
Is it
It's
though?
just like yeah, but I think I got to go Phobe for this one.
That's fair. I get it. I'm going with Death to Smoochy, but we made it pretty clear how much I enjoyed this over you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is pretty divisive. Unfortunately, unlike our Bolero Suicide Squad discussion, I did not get you to see the light of day on the film that I preferred. But maybe next time. But we got another tie on our hands, so that's it. That's their discussion.
That's the movies.
That's the movies, which means now we get to go on to questions. And if you have them, remember to ask them, or else we can't answer them, and that would suck because we
And
like
we
to.
will dox you
We
if
will
you don't.
dox you, just like we doxed that one guy like 10 seconds ago. Anyway, enough dilly dallying. Let us get to the questions. We got about 3 of them. We'll start with Robert. Robert has 2. One that he submitted a little late before a little late after we did our recording for last episode. So we'll do it from this one. First question is best movie by a bad director.
I kind of gotta look this up.
Now I don't know if you ever heard of this hack fraud called Stanley Kubrick. Makes a bunch of dumb, couple hour long movies about he made a film about space. He made a film about a hotel. All of them terrible.
Oh no, I think I know who you're talking about now.
Just the worst. But he made this war movie. You might have heard of it. It's called Fear and Desire. That was pretty good. I say that was a good movie that hack fraud made.
I think you just triggered Timmy just by saying that now.
Who cares? He probably
probably
already
heard
left
that
when I
somewhere.
said that I like Death to Smoochy.
Hmm.
But more seriously, I don't know. Apparently, fucking Richard's Donnie Darko is good.
That is one I do need to check out again because it's been a while since I've seen it, and I remember liking it the first time. But I know that it's without a saying, oh my god. Donnie Darko is much better than Southland Tales, but I mean, we both already knew that.
Here, let me look up the directors that we've watched movies for this podcast, and let me see.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay's The Rock, I would say, is pretty good, actually.
Yeah, The Rock's really good. Also,
Well,
I like Armageddon. I think that was a pretty fun
Nicolas Cage for me, so that's also why it makes it good. Because Nicolas Cage is the best.
Here, I'm about to piss off Tom now, because Paul Verhoeven, he made RoboCop. That's pretty good. I've only seen 3 Paul Verhoeven films, but the one I like the most is RoboCop. Sure Girls is fine. I think Benedetta is kind of boring.
Starship Troopers from Verhoeven's pretty good.
Probably like Total
It's
Recall, Starship Troopers. Those ones are probably like really good. I just haven't seen them. I've only seen 3 Paul Verhoeven movies, and I only think one of them is really good. Oh, Simon Wells, the guy who made Mars Needs Mom. He also directed The Prince of Egypt.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I haven't seen The Prince of Egypt, but apparently it's really, really good, unless you're YMS, in which it's like the worst film ever made.
Yeah.
Arguably, it's his only good film he made, because he also made a film called We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. He made Balto. I haven't seen that. That might be good. But, I mean, it's got a pretty decent rating.
Yeah, Prince of Egypt, it had like 3 different directors on it, so...
Well, he was one of them, so,
He was one of them.
Apparently, YMS gave the Prince of Egypt a 5 out of 10, but he gave Balto a 6 out of 10, so apparently Balto's like a masterpiece, I guess. I don't know, you got any? Because I've just been name-dropping a lot of them, I feel like.
Oh, man. I mean, I've been trying to look, but I just don't know if I can really say I've seen, like, good movies by bad directors other than, really, Richard.
Richard.
Still hasn't released the fart cut yet.
Nope, because he's a hack fraud. I would say a David Ducato movie, but David Ducato is one of the greatest directors of all time, so I can't.
I was about to say you can't do that.
Yeah, I can't because he's too good. Not even as like a joke. I don't know. Did the fucking guy who directed Goosebumps, I mean, no, the Garbage Pail Kids movie, did he ever make a good movie?
Let's see. I'm checking it right now.
Uh,
I have never heard of any of these. Okay, no. So, don't know.
yep, it is. Who knows? I don't know. I guess that's all we kind of got for that one.
Yeah.
Next question is a Mattias question. Super Mario Bros. 1993 or the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2023? He doesn't
new
say
one.
if it's good, picking which one's the better or the worst.
I think it's
just
which one you prefer. That's what it sounds like.
I like the Super Mario Brothers movie more than Super Mario Bros. Movie, but I like them both. So yeah.
I like the new Super Mario Brothers movie better than the 90s one.
I mean, I did see the new Mario Brothers movie like twice in the theater, so that says something. And after watching fucking the shitty ass fucking action movie Sisu, I wished I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie a third time instead.
To really cleanse your palate from
Sisu was so
Sisu?
No, I wish I didn't watch Sisu. It was the fucking Regal mystery movie. I remember seeing the trailer of it once. I thought, oh, that could be neat. And I watched it here and I hated it. I hated Sisu so much. It's so bad. But everyone else seems to love it, apparently. So I guess
you're in the minority on that.
I'm you, but instead of being Death to Smoochy, it's for Sisu.
Yep.
I don't know, but I recently saw I saw an ad on YouTube for it where basically the whole thing is like all these Twitter people going like, I hope the dog doesn't die. And then they go, don't worry, the dog doesn't die. And I fucking cringed into fucking oblivion.
Yeah, that's pretty cringe.
It's just, I don't want to hijack this question and turn to why I think Sisu is so fucking awful. Just take my word for it. This film was fucking awful and I hated it. I hate it so much. It's the worst film I have seen for 2023. Anyway, yeah, I like the Super Mario Brothers, the new one, more. It had a bunch of references, and I'm a dumb baby man who loves that.
Yeah, it was made for you, a baby.
Yep. A dumb Mario fanboy. And I go, oh my god, Mario, he's in Mario game. I know that.
Oh my god, Luigi. He's got his own game.
Oh my god, Luigi from Super Luigi typing game.
Yeah.
I think Chris Pratt was fine as Mario.
Seth
Rogen was fine.
That was the worst casting for me.
Nah, the guy who they cast for Cranky Kong was bad.
Fred Armisen?
Yeah, like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like I think Cranky Kong would sound like.
I mean, I will be honest, though. I did like the Donkey Kong rap playing when Donkey Kong appeared.
That you clapped? You clapped when the DK rap happened?
I didn't clap, but I got
You jumped up from your seat and started singing it?
Yep.
You were like,
I started pounding my fist in the air. And
you started making monkey noises, and you started flinging poop everywhere.
And then all these families were looking at me like, what the fuck is he doing? And I'm just like, shut up. Let me enjoy the movie.
You started throwing poop at them as you were making the monkey noises?
Yes. Yeah. I started shitting my hand and started throwing my shit at them. Because I was like, go fuck yourself. Bam.
I know, I had a lot of fun with it. I'm glad Illumination has a 6 out of 10 movie under their belt. Good for them. And apparently, after the huge success of the Mario movie, Shigeru Miyamoto's like, hey, we're probably going to make more of these. So, we'll see what happens. I can't wait for them to make a fucking a baseball movie.
Mario Super Sluggers, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis.
They should make a Punch-Out movie. I think that'd be pretty fun. I mean, they got like a fun cast of characters they can pull from that. I think actually a Punch-Out movie wouldn't be too bad. Just remake Rocky, but just have it with all the Punch-Out characters. That's it. I'll enjoy it, probably. You could probably actually get Mike Tyson in the movie. Do it, Nintendo. Get Mike Tyson in a Punch-Out movie. Like Mike Tyson will do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that answers that question. That was a good little thing. I learned Cole threw his poop everywhere in the showing of the movie. That's very nice.
Yep.
Okay, and the final question's from Robert, which is, what is the most awkward theoretical film recommendation for this podcast that isn't NSFU? So I guess just what was the most awkward movie you feel like you had to watch or discuss?
Um.
We
Hmm.
got 40 films, and it can't be NSFW, so that means we can't do Showgirls, I guess.
Hmm. Death to Smoochy.
Death to
Southland
Smoochie
Tales.
was
Evil Bong 420.
Evil Bong for 20. Could you consider those awkward though? Theoretically awkward?
Uh, Honestly, That's My Boy was actually pretty awkward.
That one was really, that was something.
Especially when it was like that. You remember when they had that scene when they were at like the wedding rehearsal or that little like get together before the rehearsal or something, and then everyone's like, "Hey, it's Adam Sandler. He fucked his teacher that one time."
That
And
was so
I had this
cool.
one time. I wanted to fuck my 8th grade biology teacher
That was,
because she
yeah.
was a hot whammon, and then I'm just thinking the whole time like, just reverse everything, and this is the most pedophilic shit ever. But this is society where it's okay if a hot lady has sex with a young teenage underage boy,
And
but the
remember,
other way, then it's bad.
this is a film that won, by the way. That's My Boy.
I know, because I'll Be Home for Christmas was also just boring as shit.
Yep. Yeah, that's My Boy. That's what I was saying when Timmy picked That's My Boy as the winner, because
Yeah,
I
and then
was
you
also
guys
gonna pick
bullied
it,
me into
and
it.
we bullied you into submission. It was great.
Yeah.
This might be a weirder pick, but Billionaire Boys Club, possibly because that was kind of the most regular ass movie out of like what we had seen at that up to that point.
Yeah. It seemed like the most just like, yeah, just like it just felt like a generic ass movie, and that was it.
It was still pretty like bland and uninteresting though.
Oh yeah. But Kevin Spacey though.
Kevin Spacey
Good
was
guy
in there.
Kevin Spacey.
He can do no wrong.
No.
He can do no wrong, just like Bill Cosby.
Just like all those other celebrities.
Yep. That Harvey Weinstein, he seems like a pretty nice guy
Yeah,
giving all those people those careers.
Bryan Singer, Woody Allen, Roman
Army
Polanski.
Hammer,
Yeah, Army Hammer.
Louis C.K.,
Yes, another great one. Chris D'Elia.
all
Um,
upstanding members of society.
yes, all just like the top notch upper
Just the
echelon
kind of
of
people you
how
really
to be a
want to look
great
up
gentleman.
to. Just someone you really want to look up to and be like,
I want to be like him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I have another one too that was awkward. Swept Away.
Oh yeah, Swept Away. That was something. That was for sure.
Yeah, and now I'm even more curious and checking out the original
One day.
one day.
Maybe it'll be totally awful and you'll recommend it for Nefarious Reels.
Maybe. But at this point, I think the bar for the original one's so low that I think even if it's like mediocre, it's gonna be seen as something like a masterpiece to me after the Madonna one,
All right.
which I don't think is really saying much though. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anywho's, I guess that's it for questions.
Oh, I actually do have.
Oh,
one,
right.
I
We forgot. We
remember,
have your question you forgot about.
yeah, because
last time.
I was buzzed last time.
You were super hammered.
Yeah,
You were
I thought
army
I'd
hammered.
nice,
Yeah. Throwback.
outstanding citizen of society.
Anyway, Cole, what's your question before we move on to
Yeah,
recommendations?
so mine thinking about was there, I'm kind of like switching up from the bad movies, but was there a movie that you were glad you saw in theaters and did not regret seeing? Like you didn't, get the Blu-ray, see it there, and then just be like, fuck, I should have seen this in theaters then. Like, did you have any of those kind of movie experiences that was like, had to see that in theaters and I'm glad I did?
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That was
Wait, seriously?
so much fun. God, it's been such a long time since I went to a theater to watch a bad movie and had a great experience. I don't think since oh God, I can't remember. It might have been Insidious Chapter 4, maybe?
Oh, wow.
I think that's like the last time I actually watched like a bad movie and had like a great time. but that was like a blast. I'm so glad I got to see it because they were only showing it for like one day at my theater, so I was really glad I snagged
Oh,
it and got
nice.
to watch it there.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, kind of fair. It was out for like a week, and then they were just like, yeah, get it out.
Parasite. I'm really glad I got to see Parasite. Have I told the
Yes.
story of my Parasite viewing?
I don't think he did.
I don't. Well, basically, originally I was gonna see it during its like first like release, but I got like so busy with work and stuff, I didn't get around to it, and then boom, it was out of the theater. But then they re-released it because it got nominated for Best Picture, so I got to go
Yep.
see it in a theater during that time, and it was such a good movie. I'm so glad I got to see it in a theater actually. This was
Okay.
pre-COVID, so it was like super packed too.
Yep.
That was pretty
Yeah,
great.
that's fun.
I think there's like another one that isn't coming from the top of my head though.
Hmm. If I want to think about that one, I got a couple I could put down.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Morbius. Saw Morbius in
Ooh.
the theater, baby, as it was
Oh,
meant to be
yeah.
seen in. Anyway, you can list a couple. I listed some.
Yeah, so one I definitely remember loving seeing in theaters was Blade Runner 2049. Like Denis Villeneuve's kind of one of my favorite directors now, and after hearing some like the little bit word of mouth from people on YouTube and all that, and then finally getting to see it, it was like with everything, just with the dark big screen, with the sound around it, it was like it was kind of beautiful. Just having to see and hear all that, getting back to that Blade Runner universe. And I'm not even like the biggest fan of the original Blade Runner. I watched the original like maybe like 2 months before the new one came out. And seeing 2049 just on the big screen was like blowing it out of the water.
Did you clap when Harrison Ford showed up? And you're like, "That's Han Solo."
In my head, maybe. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, it's I was trying to think of it's that guy from Call of the Wild 2020.
You could have said Indiana Jones. That was
I
a
know.
viable option.
I was trying to think of like one of his more off-brand movies that no one's really heard of, but I couldn't think of one.
Let's see, Han Solo, Indiana Jones. There's like one like in the back of my head. Air Force
Uh,
One. You could have said the guy from
Get
Air
off
Force
my
One.
plane. It's the get off my plane guy.
Yep. Say the line. You shout out to the screen.
Yeah. There was that one. Seeing The Room in a packed theater. This was also pre-COVID when I saw it. That midnight screening of it was one of the most fun things ever. And getting to meet Tommy Wiseau, taking a couple pictures with him, getting a shirt there. It's a "You're Tearing Me Apart" Lisa shirt, so that was
Nice.
awesome. And they gave us plastic spoons to throw at the screen, obviously, when spoons would show up. And one of the most rowdy theaters, but like one of the most just hilarious to hear. Just all these people getting so excited for a movie from 2003 that was just bad, it's hilarious.
You got caught up in the hype.
Yep.
But that's good, and I'm glad you had a great time watching The Room with a bunch of people.
And I remember too that we saw a trailer for the movie Big Shark. And now this was in 2019, by the way. And now he released the trailer for Big Shark this year. So I was like, I got like first glimpse of that when I saw it on the midnight screen.
You were ahead of the curve. You were telling people like he's making a film called Big Shark, and you're like, "Shut up, Cole, you idiot! No, he's not." And now you were the one who got the last laugh.
Yeah, who's laughing now?
No one.
No one.
I love that title, Big Shark. He doesn't cut around the bush. He doesn't try to be clever. He's like, no, it's a big shark.
Big Shark.
I have two others that I thought of. I might have told this one because I think a while ago we had like good movie experiences question way back that when.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one when I was 13. Like I turned 13. I was like, I'm 13. I can go watch a PG-13 movie by myself. Which in hindsight now is a little stupid, but I was 13. I was really excited. And there's one film specifically that I wanted to see. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Because it looked so cool. So my parents dropped me and my sister off so I can go see it at the theater. And it was awesome. Oh my God, it was so cool. I own the 4K and I've yet to rewatch it because I'm partially scared that I'm not going to enjoy it as much as I did at 13. I just don't want to. I don't want to lose that magic, man. And this last one, which is one I remember, I couldn't remember back during that question way long ago, but I remembered later and I was angry about it ever since. But back in college, Rooster Teeth was making their first big feature film, Laser Team, and
Laser Team.
Laser Team, and they had it made, and they were releasing in select theaters. And I was home at the time, and I tried to buy a ticket, but they weren't showing it in my theater at the time when I was going there because they were only releasing in select theaters. But I realized, like, wait a minute, I'll be in college in a week, back at college in a week or two. I saw that they were actually going to show it at the nearby theater near my college, so I bought a ticket for there instead. So when I went back and I went to saw the theater, it was a packed crowd full of fans. I saw some people from school there. We all got like super hyped, and it was like a great time. Kind of similar to, I guess, to the room experience, but less spoons involved. But it was like a really grand time, and I can really say that was the moment that I really got swept into the hype, and it was like a great time to watch this film like in a theater. It's a pretty great memory from college. I'm never gonna forget it, except for that one time where I did at like when I should have remembered it. That was pretty awesome.
Fun.
Yep. You got any more?
I guess I got one more. Just last year, seeing Everything Ever All at Once in the theaters. I saw it twice because the first time I saw it with my brother, and I kind of just found it super. I know it's gonna sound like very based saying this, but it felt very transcendent seeing a kind of multiverse movie like this, and how everything, like, while it was like so crazy with some of its editing and like everything going on, which kind of felt like the point, but it just worked so well, and I just loved it that I took my sister the next time, and she was even like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good, and now I have to show everyone else. Oh, my mom's now seen it after the Best Picture win. I gotta show my dad it. Maybe I'll do that. I'll show him both that and Suburban Sasquatch at the same time.
Then you watch with Pawn, and then Pawn was like, "This is it, the death of cinema." Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, I saw everything.
Pawn's death to cinema is Totoro. That was the beginning of the end for him.
Damn. But I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once at a theater too. That was really good. It was a good movie. It was really good. It's not my favorite of 2022. That for me is Nope, which was also really awesome. I had a great time seeing that in a theater, except for the fact they were right next to an IMAX theater. So at one point the sound caused the theater next to me to shake, and I didn't realize that was why. And I was like, oh fuck, I think we had an earthquake. And then I left the theater to see if there was like a wide panic happening outside, and there wasn't. So I just went back inside to watch the movie. Well, we have to understand, I live in California. We got like that one big fault line, so you know.
True.
Anyway, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I guess now we're at the recommendations. This is the part where we recommend our movies. Cole, I had the retro last time, so Cole, what is your retro pick for next episode?
Yeah, so I had a few on my mind. So I was kind of like playing back and forth. I was thinking about maybe doing a movie from a director that we have talked about before. But then I remembered a certain movie that was featured on the Dead Meat Kill Count. And I was like, okay, I think we should talk about this one because this might be a more cathartic-esque recommendation for me after Death to Smoochy. And the retro movie we'll be watching is Ice Cream Man from 1995, starring Clint Howard.
Oh, nice. I already own that film on Blu-ray, so that saves me time from having to buy one. Nice. Yeah, directed by Norman Epstein.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Very excited to check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's time for me to do my modern pick. So for the longest time, I knew what my modern pick was. I was like, I'm going to do this movie. I'm going to do this movie. I'm going to do this movie. I already know the line I'm going to say when I'm going to recommend. I'm going to say, we're going to get political. But then I saw this movie, and I was like, no, we have to talk about this.
Oh, here we go.
And the movie we're going to do for our modern pick is 2017's Barbie video game hero.
Okay.
Yep. I know you were being quiet there because you were in complete shock after hearing the movie.
A little surprised. I was like, what?
Yep. I mean, the Barbie movie is coming out eventually. And the fact
True.
that Barbie has her own video game movie, I mean, come on. She's literally me. This is going to be my literally me movie.
Where is Ryan Gosling? Damn it.
He's an executive producer or something. I don't know. He wrote the
But-
screenplay or something. It's fine.
He yeah, okay. Okay, that's okay then.
Okay. But if you don't want to get spoiled for Ice Cream Man or Barbie video game hero, how about watching those movies for the episode coming out? And hey, how about you also like and subscribe? Because, you know, you can do that, you know, everybody, you know, don't let my kindness stop you. And ask us questions, and you all have a good day and a happy Morbius.
Happy Morbius, happy smooching time.
Happy Smoochy time. Happy Phobe time. Hashtag release the fort cut. Richard.
Richard.
Bye bye everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.